I wanted to talk a little about Ajwain seed because it is quite unique to Indian cuisine. I don't see it in recipes outside of that culinary canon, and it has a really particular purpose and flavour. So Ajwain is an earth spice. If you want to look up what I mean by earth spice, you can have a look in the description below, and I'll pop one of my videos in there that talks about the different categories of spices and how they work with the mouth. But essentially the role of an earth spice in a masala or in a whole blend is to provide grounding for the palate, familiarity, but it also works as a textural fill. And texture is a really important component of pleasure when it comes to eating, but it's an equally important part of encouraging the body to experience that sensation of satiety or of repletion when eating. That sensation starts in the mouth. So if you have a very full textural mouth in terms of your aromatics and your structure of your dish, then it takes less time for your body to signal fullness. So it's essentially a way to control appetite, is to make sure that the food that goes into your mouth is very rich aromatically, very whole aromatically, and very textural as well. And so this is one of those spices that will facilitate that. Beyond all of those basics, Ajwain is very important as a digestive aid. So when you try it, what you'll find is kerosene is the first aroma. It becomes very minty, a little bit eucalyptus. There's a thyme quality, so the quality of thyme, the herb, is in there as well. And then it finishes on a very oily, sort of mechanical oil taste, so it's like licking a garage floor. There's a soapy texture to it as well in the mouth. And all of those aromatic descriptions, aside from mint and maybe eucalyptus, none of them are particularly delicious. So kerosene, oil, soap, they're not things that you necessarily want to put in your mouth, but they are very pungent and very strong profiles. And generally when it comes to spice, if it tastes pungent on the tongue raw, it's going to facilitate a lot of the work of your digestive system. And that's how Ayurveda looks at these pungent spices, as digestive aids. So you'll see that in terms of understanding spice, understanding traditional pairings helps you to see why a spice is used and what its benefits are in terms of health. Ajwain is used a lot. It's a classic flavour profile with fried foods in India. So with puri, which is why it's in here, with like bhujia snacks, with besan flour fried snacks, in street food where there's a lot of frying and a lot of dough. There's two reasons for that. One is that its flavour is strong enough to penetrate through the flour and through that frying process and through produce and still be present in the mouth, you know, with a lot of clarity at the end point when it comes to eating. But also because the way that we look at health, you want to help your body to do well with the food that you're giving it, you know, when it comes to consumption. So if you are going to eat fried foods, well, it makes sense to put a spice in with that produce. It's going to help your body to deal with the effort of digestion. Ayurveda is focused enormously, or totally, essentially, on the health of the digestive system and the gut. And so a spice like Ajwain is key to retaining these sorts of delicious foods in the diet, because puri, samosa, pakora, all of those foods which are fried, floury foods, they're sometimes foods, but they're beautiful, they're delicious, they're made from wholesome ingredient. And Ajwain seed in those contexts is just going to help your body to be able to handle the process of digesting something that's a little bit heavier because it has been through a frying process. If you want to look for it, it's in Indian grocers. I've never seen it in mainstream supermarkets. It has alternate names, so bishop's weed is one, carom seed I think is another, so keep an eye out for it. It's beautiful to add into beef dishes as well, because beef can be quite a heavy protein to digest, and so a little bit of Ajwain in like a slow cooked beef dish, by a little bit, I mean like a half teaspoon, will add a flavour dimension, but will also help your body facilitate the process of digestion. So it's a good one to have in your pantry.